We are moving on with number 97 in the Radiance range, which is the first movie from this hard-boiled set. 3 pulp thrillers by Alain Corneille. And the first one here was Police Python 357 from 1976. And going into these movies, I just don't think I was prepared properly for what I was going to get. And that was great because I was blown away by this film. I thought it was absolutely terrific right from the start. We have Yves Montand as Inspector Mark Theroux, a man who has a kind of solemn existence. He loves his work, he lives for his work, but other than that, he's quite an introverted character, likes his own space, and that's something I can relate with a lot. He finds a young woman, Sylvia, one night who happens to snap a picture of him stopping a criminal in a wonderful sequence at the start of this movie.
Alors tu dors, non? Et démarre.
And he starts a relationship with this woman and finds something that he thought he was never going to find. Love, or aspects of that. But that would be too simple for this kind of film. No, this goes down a labyrinth in a like of maze that just wowed me with its bleakness and how it kept getting darker and more destructive for all the characters all the way through it. It turns out that Sylvia is not only seeing Theroux, she's seeing another man. But it's getting to the end of that relationship and she feels that, yeah, there may be something more solid with Theroux, and decides that it's time to break off with the other man.
Oui, il y en a un autre. Et il m'aura complètement.
Mais tant mieux, Sylvia.
Et je le veux, complètement.
Comme tu voudras, bien sûr.
The other man is Gainey, the commissioner of the police force and Theroux's boss. And neither of these two men realise they're dating the same woman. But wait, there's more. Gainey also has his wife, Teresa, who is in bed, unable to really walk, and is fully aware of her husband's transgressions, encouraging it, which is just weird. Now, when Sylvia goes to break up with Gainey, he snaps, killing her, and leaves the apartment, leaves the body. But then Theroux goes to the apartment, not realising what's happened, not realising that she's in the other room murdered, and starts to leave indications that he's been there all over the room. His fingerprints, various materials that he's touched, a note that he typed up on the typewriter. And for the rest of the movie, it becomes a sordid plot of Theroux trying to break up this case, stop witnesses from making their statements, change things about, having this intuition that there was another man while trying to chase down that avenue, while his boss Gainey tries to stop him from chasing this other man avenue. And all the while, Gainey is telling his wife Teresa exactly what's going on, and from her bed, she is guiding him to make decisions.
Je pense qu'il m'a pris.
Cette phrase que t'as entendue si souvent pendant ta carrière et que t'as jamais voulu comprendre.
Now, normally I don't like to get into a plot as much as that, but man, that's the base setup for the first 20 minutes of this 2 hour and 5 minute film, and this goes places. I loved the kind of stilted setup of our character of Theroux and how his life just seemed to almost devoid of colour until Sylvia steps into it. And these characters together really kind of had something. You saw the emotion come out through their conversations, and it was really terrific. The pressure that you see Theroux go under is unbelievable. His snap judgments, the way that he is not thinking properly and constantly making mistakes and making things worse for himself, is truly jaw-dropping. And you want him to make a better choice, but you understand all the strains and pressure that's going on and pushing him in certain directions. This is a richly dark noir film, and it wears that proudly on its shoulder. It feels like a 50s noir, but it has this, for the time, modern kind of sensibility, like a kind of Don Siegel movie with this violence that it brings into it. I loved Police Python 357. It was a terrific movie. I'm a fan of noirs, and this ticked every box for me. Terrific characters, great interplay, a constantly surprising story that kept putting me in the back foot, kept making me shocked for the characters, unable to look away, wanting to find out what was going to happen next. Terrific work here. I really enjoyed this film, and if this is an indicator of what the other two films are going to bring, wow, pick this up before it disappears. Let's dive into the disc of Police Python 357 and see what there are. Here we are in the disc for Police Python 357. Let's go to the special features. First up, we have an audio commentary by Mike White. Next, we have Maxim Jakubowski. This is a newly recorded interview with writer and publisher, discusses Corneo and his association with crime fiction, in particularly examining the famous série noir imprint, which brought hardboiled fiction to France. It recorded in October 2024 and runs at 15 minutes 11 seconds. And I like this because Maxim kind of talks a little bit about each of the three movies on this set before delving in to the série imprint book series as well, talking about how quickly they sold out, how it was just perfect timing for it arriving in France, how these movies were influenced heavily by the American noir movement and some of the writers of pulp novels there as well. Then we have TV interviews. In this archival interview, originally filmed for Belgian television in 1976, Alain Corneau and Francois Pierre discussed their experiences filming Police Python 357 from the set. And it runs at 5 minutes 31 seconds. And it is a sort of small promotional piece. A couple of questions here, some nice answers, particularly around why it's called Police Python. And it's just a nice additional extra. And that's the extras for Police Python 357. Here we have it. First film in this set is out the way, and it's a knockout. I love the Radiance box sets. They're always terrific. I haven't found one that hasn't been anything short of exceptional. And this one looks as if it's going to deliver those kind of films that I love. Pulpy noir thrillers. Just now, this set is worth it alone for Police Python 357. I would love to know your thoughts on this one if you watched it. So let me know in the comment box below whether you thought it was great, whether you hated it, whether you found it was average. I want to know your opinion wherever you fall in the spectrum. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff in the description box below, or links to Patreon, membership program, and mahanvfilm.com. Always in which you could support. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.